Hello, Dakota here. I am going to show you how to make a hexagon granny square. This one in particular, it's what I'm calling a semi-solid. So, for this project, you will need 2 colors of yarn if you want to edge in a different color. I'm using a light teal for the body, and then a neutral color, it's called natural, for this particular yarn, but it's like a light creamy color to do the edging. You'll of course need your hook. For this particular yarn, I'm using the that won't focus, so I'm just going to read it. The US H8 or 5mm. You'll also need a yarning needle and a pair of scissors. And I keep my yarn in the bowls to keep them clean, and it's easier so that when they roll around. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I take my yarn, drape it over my finger, and then I pinch with my middle and thumb, and then I take this and go over my finger again, and I pick this yarn here that's closest to the wrist and bring it over this and over the finger, and then I pull tight, and then I take my needle and insert there and then pull tight. That's my beginning slip knot. And now to start, I need to chain 4, so it's yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, pull through 4. That is my chain 4, and now I'm going to join those and then do a slip stitch, bring those through. And now it's going to be a chain 3 to start. 1, 2, 3, because chain 3 is the same size as a double crochet. Now I have to do 17 double crochets into the center. So it's yarn over, insert hook into the center, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That's 1, and yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, through, yarn over, pull through. There we go. And now I'm going to pause the recording and join you when I have 1 more left to go. So it's a total of 18 posts in here. So, hold on. Okay, I have 17 posts, so that's 16 double crochets in my beginning chain 3. So I have 1 more double crochet to do. So I yarn over, insert into the center, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the second 2 loops. And that's my 18 posts for this round. Now to connect these 2 together, because you don't want this big old gap here, you have to connect this post to this post. Now what I do is I go through 2 loops of the top of my chain 3. This top loop here. There are, I really don't think this is going to be in focus, but there is a piece of yarn here and a piece of yarn here. And I weave through both of those. And the one on the back stays on the back. So I go through 2, and I'm going to do that here. Sometimes it takes a bit to do. It's a bit of a struggle sometimes. So, there we go. That's through the first one. Now the second one is always harder to do, but it's the same loop that you're going through, and so you have to kind of tug on the back a bit and then stick your hook through that. Let's see. Okay. I do this because it creates a better looking connection than just going through one of the loops. If you don't want to go through the struggle of getting it through both, you can just go through one. It's fine. But I like the look better of having both of them there. As you can see, there's 2 here, and on the back there's 1. So then I'm going to do a slip stitch So to do that, I yarn over and I pull through that chain space and the loop that's on the hook. So now there's only the one loop from the yarn over I did. So that is a slip stitch, and that closes this round. Now this piece here is the beginning piece, and I leave that until the end because I kind of tug it to make it smaller hole, and then I snip it off. But now that is closed. So now let's move on to round 2, which consists of more double crochets, but what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 double crochets, and then we'll chain 3, which is up here, and then do 3 more double crochets. We are not skipping any of the stitches in here, and I'll show you that as we go to make that make a little bit more sense. So to begin, again, we have to chain 3 to equal 1 double crochet to get up to where we're supposed to be. So that's yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. That is 1 3-chain piece, which is equal to 1 double crochet size-wise. Okay, so we're not going into the spaces in between the loops here. That's not where we'll stick our hook. We're actually going to go into the space right underneath the part right here. In here, there's a stitch space there, and that's the little space where we'll be sticking our hook into. So I'm going to yarn over and then stick my hook into that little tiny space there, and then yarn over again and pull through. And now I have 3 loops on my hook, so I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So that is my first double crochet. Now you can go ahead and do a third one right away, but what I like to do is do my chain 3 next. That way my last one over here will actually kind of pull this more straight. So I'm going to chain 3. So that's chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. Now we're not skipping any of these spaces here. I'm going to go ahead and do my next double crochet into this space here. So that's yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through that space, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So that shows the chain 3 space here, and that will be this space here. It creates a corner for the hexagon. That's why you chain 3. Up here we'll chain 2, but I'll get to that later. Corner spaces are usually a chain 3 or a chain 2. In this particular round, it's a chain 3 space. So let's continue going around. We're going to yarn over, insert into the next space over, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And one more, yarn over, insert into the next chain space, no, not chain space, stitch space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So that's your group of 3 double crochets. So now it's time to chain 3 again. So that's chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. And we're going to double crochet into the next space here. So yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And 2 more. So yarn over, insert hook into the next space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. One more, yarn over, insert the next space over, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now that's the second group of 3 double crochets. There. So now it's time to do another chain 3 to make another corner. So that's chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. So now it's another group of 3 double crochets. So let's yarn over, insert into the next space, yarn over, pull through that same space, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, insert hook to the next space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So that's 2, so one more. Yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through another 2 loops. And now it's chain 3 again. Now I'm going to pause the video until I get to where I'm going to be doing the last double crochet here. Okay. Now I'm going to do my last double crochet to finish the round, and you should have 6 groups of 3 double crochets. And I'll show that a bit better once I finish this last one. So, yarn over, insert into that last space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And so that's my last double crochet. So now I have to connect these 2. Now I'm going to do it the same way I connected these 2 down here. So that's sticking in through the top loop of the 3 chains, so 1, 2, 3. So up here, I'm sticking it through that little piece here. Sometimes it's a bit of a struggle because it gets a bit tight. Okay, sorry this is out of view for you guys, but there we go, hook went through. Now I'm pulling this piece over here to make a little hole for my hook to go through. There, now there's the 2 spaces there, 2 pieces of yarn and 1 on the back, and now I'm going to do another slip stitch to connect them. So that's a yarn over and pull through all the loops on my hook. Sometimes it's a bit of a struggle to get the hook through. My hook came off, but the loop still went through, so I'm going to tug on a little to make space for my hook to go back in. And now that round is complete. So you can see that there are 6 groups of 3. So the first one that we started with 2, but we ended with the 3rd piece. So that's 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups, and 6 groups. And there should be 6 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that creates your 6 sides to the hexagon. So we went from a circle to a hexagon in one round. As you can kind of see there, if you kind of pull the corners a bit, it makes it look more like a hexagon shape. So there's the beginning of the hexagon. So now for the next round, we're going to start with a chain 3, and that will start, let's see here, this round here. So I'm weaving my yarn back onto my fingers and getting ready to start. So chain 3, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. That's the 3 chain. Now for this particular round, there are 3 double crochets into the top of these 3, and then 3 into the corner, and then we chain 2, and then we do 3 more double crochets into the same corner, and then 3 double crochets into one end of the top of each of these, and then 3 double crochets into this corner, and then we chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets into the same corner. So let's show that now. So I'm going to find the space where my hook will go into. Okay, this round is a bit easier to see that space, which is right here. I'm going to yarn over and stick my hook into that space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 of the loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through another 2 loops on my hook. Get some yarn off my ball there. Loosen the tension. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Foot was falling asleep. And when we come back around, we'll do the 3rd chain on top of here. So right now we're going to go into this corner space here, and we're going to start with 3 double crochets into there. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That is 1 double crochet in that corner space, and you're going to want to kind of pull it over to the side as you go, because we're going to fit 6 double crochets into this one space. So yarn over, insert hook into there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And that's 2. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, sorry about the little skip here. My memory card got full and then my battery died on me. So as just a little bit ago you saw that I was working on the 3rd double crochet that goes into this corner. So now I'm going to chain 2 to make the corner for this round. So 1, 2 chains. Now into the same space I'm going to chain another 3, do another 3 double crochets into the same space, into the chain 3 space from this round here. Now as it looks right now, it looks like there's no room, so what you have to do is you have to kind of push your double crochets over, and now there's room. So double crochet another 3, so yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through another 2 loops on the hook. So that's the 1 of 3, so yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. 2 double crochet, yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So that is the 2 sets of 3 double crochets in that corner with a chain 2 space in between. Now we do not chain here, we simply continue doing more double crochets. And to find the space for this one, you have to kind of pull this over a little bit more, because the space is going to be in here, and this double crochet can kind of make it so you can't see that hole, so you have to pull the yarns over a little bit to find that space. So yarn over, insert into that first space there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And the next space over, so double crochet there, and 1 more. And that was 3 double crochets and 1 into the top of each of these posts here. So now we're back to the next corner, and it's going to be 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 more double crochets. So I'm going to do that real quick here. If you need to know how to do the double crochets, you can rewind a bit and rewatch what I've already done, but for the sake of timing, I'm just going to kind of whip this out here. Okay, so that's 3, so now I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and now 3 more double crochets. That's 2 and 3. So now we're back to a side. So again, it's 3 double crochets in the top of each one of these. So find that, double crochet in there. That's 1, 2, and 3. And now I'm in the next corner, so it's 3 double crochets. It's 1, 2, and 3, and chain 2. 1, 2, and 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now you can see I've done 2 complete sides here, and I have 2 half sides. So I'm going to pause the recording and finish up to where I get to finish this corner, and then I'll have 1 more double crochet left, and I'll pick up there. Okay, now I've finished that last corner, so now I have to do 1 more double crochet into this last space here. So I'm going to do that real quick here. Okay, that last double crochet. Now I have to connect these 2, and I'm doing it the same way as I did the previous 2 rounds. So I'm going to stick my needle underneath this top loop here, and the 3rd chain up. There we go, and pulling that a little and sticking my needle through. Yay! It worked fast that time. Okay, now I'm doing slip stitch, so I'm yarning over and pulling through all the loops on my hook. There we go. So that's the end of that round. Now we have 1 more round to go. So let me show you this. Okay. So we're doing this last round here, and it's going to be 3 double crochets into the top of these 3 here that we went up here, so it's like 1 long section here, and then you're going to chain 1 and then do 3 double crochets into the corner space, and then you'll chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets into that same chain space here to make the corner, and then we'll chain 1, and then you skip 4 of these stitches. So I count 1, 2, 3, and then I find my 4th space, and that's where I stick my needle to start these 3. So let's get started on that. And again, to start off with the next round, I chain 3, because that chain 3 again equals 1 double crochet. So there's my chain 3. So I always count where I am, so I know if I need to do 1 or 2 double crochets before I go to the corner. So this is 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space here. So I only do 1 because when I come all the way around, I'll do 1 more double crochet here to end, to make that to make this 3 here. So right now it's like I made this middle one out of a chain 3. So when I come back around, I'll be doing this one here to finish that off. So I'm going to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So there we go, into there, pull through and pull through twice there. Okay, so that's my double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 1 to create the gap here, to bridge that there before I go over into my corner, and I'm going to do 3 double crochets into that corner. There we go. I need a bit more yarn off my ball. I like having quite a bit loose, because if there's not, it creates this tension that messes with my stitches a bit. Okay, so that was 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Okay, and I'm going to push my yarns over a little bit, and now I'm going to chain 2 to create my corner. Now I'm going to do 3 more into the same space, 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to chain 1 to bridge my skipped stitches, and so I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3, and then this fourth space is where I'm going into. So yarn over, stick my chain into there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. So that's the first one. Now I have to do 2 more into the next 2 spaces. There's 1, there is 2. Now I'm going to chain 1 again to bridge the gap, and now I'm going to the corner, and it's 3 double crochets. There's 1, there's 2, and 3. And now I'm chaining 2 again to make this corner, and 3 more double crochets into that corner. 1, 2, and 3 there, and chaining 1 again to bridge the gap, and now I'm going to count my stitches I'm skipping. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going into the 4th one. So chain 1, yarn over, go into there, pull through, and apparently didn't yarn over right. Okay, let's try it again. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. There we go. Sometimes that doesn't work. Right, the yarn comes off. Really easy to fix though. So there is my first one that I'm going to do. Here's the second one, and the third one. Okay, now I have one side completely done, and I will continue all the way around. So remember, it is, the corner has 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 more double crochets, chain 1, and then you skip 3, and then you enter into the 4th one, and then you do 3 in a row, and then you chain 1 to bridge the gap, and then you're back to another corner, and you go all the way around, so you end up with 6 corners, 6 sides. So I'm going to pause the recording, and I'll come back to where I finish this corner, and I have to bridge the gap and complete this here. Okay, I just did my last double crochet into the corner, so I have to chain 1 to bridge the gap. So there's my chain 1. Now I'm finding the spot, which can be found both ways of counting over or just knowing that is going into the stitch to the right of your beginning chain. So I'm going to yarn over, stick into that loop there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And now I have to end the round. I'm doing the same way I've done previously in the last 3 rounds. So let's see, the hook goes through that one and that one. Okay, and now I'm doing a slip stitch to join, and that's pulling through, yarning over and then pulling through all the loops on the hook. Okay, now that's the last round with this color, so I'm going to end it. So I yarn over and pull through, and then I take my scissors and about 1.5 inches to 2 inches away, or about as far as my finger stretches, I clip there, snip there, whatever you want to call it, and then I pull through and I tug tight. And now you can stop there, or what I prefer to do is I do another knot, and I find a stitch that is down a little bit further and not the top, because I need the top stitches to do the edging, and I don't like messing with that. So I'm going to find a stitch there, and I yarn over, pull through, and then I yarn over and I pull through the loop I just created on my hook. So there's a loop there, so yarn over and pull through, and then I pull the yarn tight, creating a secondary knot there. It's a bit more secure than just the one. And then I take my yarn needle or darning needle, whatever you want to call it. It's called both, and I'm going to weave in this end. And on this particular stitching, it's a bit harder to find a good path. So I just kind of weave it in as I go here. Let's see. I find a spot here to start, and I just kind of go back and forth, and I'm actually going to get all the way down to here by weaving along here, and then I'm going to kind of flip this over here, and I'm going to go underneath this corner space here. Sometimes it takes a little bit of wiggling your needle. There we go. And now I'm going to take my yarn and insert into the hook. There we go. Okay. Now I never pull the yarn all the way through. I always leave a little space here. It makes it easier to get the hook through. Needle through. There we go. And then I pull until my needle comes off. And see, there's a dip here. So I pull up and cause it to go straight and kind of stretch my fabric out a bit to get that all kind of the way it's supposed to be. And now there's still a bit of tail left, so I'm going just to snip that off. And I'm also going to snip this tail off from where we started after I tug a little bit, and it makes the hole just a tiny bit smaller. So there we go. Now you can stop here if you want to. You don't have to put an edging around it. I prefer to, because the blanket I'm making has white edging on all my squares, and then I use that white edging to attach them all together. So I'm going to do an edging here. So I use this color here to do that. A natural color is the name, but it's like a white creamy color. So I'm just going to go ahead and start it and put it on my hook, and I always attach in a corner, and this is going to be single crochet, so I do it's kind of a single crochet into that corner to attach it. And then there's the tail that I hold onto the top here, and as I do my single crochet across, this gets hidden across the top. So for single crochet, you stick your needle into the hole first, and then yarn over, pull through, and then you pull through, yarn over, and then pull through both loops on your hook. So you're not yarning over before you go into the hole, you yarn over only after. So my next hole there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. And as you can see, this is being covered up, so I'm going to continue with that. Let's see, there we go. And now I've reached the first chain space here. And I do one stitch in this space here. So put my hook through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both those spaces. And then there's the first chain space here, not chain space, stitch space here. So I enter there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And that begins the top of these three. So I have two more there. Okay. This one's being a bit difficult. There we go. Pull through. There we go. That's one. And this is where I started, so these get a little bit difficult. And if I can't find an appropriate space to stick my hook in, I just use the space in between. This one here looks as though I can find a space though. There we go. Sometimes, depending on how I knot it, sometimes it's difficult to find that. Now I'm back into the next chain space, so again I enter the big hole and do my single crochet, and then into the next double crochet space. There we go. And I didn't quite go through all that yarn. There we go. Okay, nope. Ah. Okay. Reattach my hook into that space there. Okay. And now I have 2 more. So that's 1, 2. And now I've reached the corner, and I do 2 single crochets into this space here. So that's 1 and 2. And now I've reached the next side, and I will start into this first space here and single crochet. Now you do that all the way around, and so I'm going to do that. Pause the video. When I get back here, I'll see you next. Okay, I have a few more single crochets left to do before I reach the corner. So let's do those 3. 1, 2, and the last one before I reach the corner. So I already have 1 in the corner from where I started, so now I have to do 1 more in there. And that is the last single crochet. Now I have to join these 2, so it's basically a slip stitch that I'm doing to close. I stick my needle underneath my hook, underneath this first stitch. There we go. And it looks like there's like 2 pieces of yarn there. That's what you want. And then there's my last loop from my last single crochet. So now I'm going to yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. So there we go, and now I'm going to yarn over and pull through, and then I'm going to snip the yarn, and then I pull through and pull tight, and again I find another piece of down here to stick my hook through back again. And let's see here, there's my stitch that I'm using, and let's see, this is usually quite difficult to get the hook through because it's very tight. There we go. So down here at the bottom is where I want to stick the hook, because I use the top stitching to attach the squares together, the hexagons, and then I yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over again and pull through again, and then I pull it tight so that the knot is close to the body of the work. And now I'm going to work the tail end like I did before with my needle. And for this one, I go down towards the body here, underneath here. And so I stick the hook in and just work it along about the length of the needle. Sometimes it takes a bit because you're pushing through quite a bit there. There we go. That's about the length of the needle up to the eye. And now I take the yarn bit and thread through the eye of the needle. There we go. And I leave a loop there, and I push the needle through, and I always grip the corner where this part of the yarn is attached. It makes it a bit easier when you're pulling through. And then I kind of pull it straight so that the yarn extends, and then I look for ends to snip off. Now that one I just threaded worked out to where I don't have to snip anything off, but this one here is where I actually started, so I'm just going to cut these little fray bits off. There we go, and smooth out the hexagon, and I'm not seeing other ends to snip. So that is a complete granny square. This is one I'm calling a semi-solid, because there is some solidness here, but there are openings, and so that is a complete one. And I'm going to show you where it's going to go on my project. So just a second. So I'm going to pause the recording so that I don't make you all dizzy. Well, okay, so this is the blanket I'm working on, and this is one of the hexagons I just finished. As you can see, it's not attached like these ones are. And this is what I was talking about, how I edge them all in the same color, because I attach them in here, and this here is kind of invisible until you pull it and actually see that. But having it all in the same color makes it so it doesn't stand out and actually looks like part of the pattern. So there is that one, and this is another one I edged. But I have these two here, and these two here I still have to edge, and then I have to make two more before I finish this particular round making the squares, rectangles. So that is this project. End of this video. Thanks for watching. Leave comments below if you would like. And I'll catch you in the next video where I show you how to make this semi-solid hexagon, which is my next round on the blanket. See you next time.